learn. Hi, guys. Or I guess I'll say hi, guys, when there are people to say hi to, because right now there aren't any. Yes, that awkward moment I always talk about when I'm just sitting here alone and staring into the camera and waiting for people to show up. And I just feel like such a weirdo because it's just me kind of talking to myself for a little while. Okay, maybe. Hi. Sorry, I'm trying to make this work. By this, I mean kind of my setup. Hello. Hi, dog. Dog. Hi, Prexis. Hi, Brandy. Hello, everyone. I know I'm kind of going live twice in a row. Well, not twice in a row, but on 2 consecutive days, maybe. My brain is very non-braining today. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Tofka. Hi, Maria. I should have brought my glasses with me. That was a really dumb, as per usual, you know. I always forget to bring stuff that I need to bring. Hello. Hi, everyone. Oh my gosh. Ladies, do not try to destroy the pillows. My dog, as per usual, being, hi, Wendy. Hi, JJ. Hi, Glacian. No. Maeve, don't even think about it. We just recorded a podcast, and Masha is away, but it's going to be with Yulia Tymoshenko, not the former prime minister, the really, really cool 25-year-old activist. Oh, activist girl. How did the interview go today? It went really well, but there is quite a lot to discuss, so they want to proceed to step 2, and because it's like a very Western interview process. But there are a couple of things. I can't tell you obviously, which charity it's with, but there are a couple of things that are going on there. So basically, I went to interview with a really, really amazing Ukrainian charity today. And they kind of want me, they're opening an American and Canadian branch, and they sort of need a brand voice, which is what I would be. And hi, Sydney, or hi, Gregory from Sydney, sorry. Hi, Nick. And it's a fantastic, it's a really, really fantastic charity, really fantastic foundation, one of the largest ones in Ukraine. But the issue is, it is a non-profit. So the workload would be a lot. Well, so while it would be a lot more interesting work in a sense, because you'd be building something from scratch, and I'd be helping Ukraine directly, right? And I wouldn't have to manage fundraising, but the fundraising would depend on me, but I wouldn't have to handle the fundraising itself. It's the work would be probably a lot more, twice as much work as I do now, but the pay is lower. And I guess I make a decent amount of money in Ukrainian standards, but it's not a lot of money at all. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how it's considered to be a decent amount of money. So I was sort of hoping that they would either match my salary, or the other sort of I can't go lower. I literally will not be able to survive if I go lower. So I can't take this job as totally full time and leave my current job, because I just can't do that from a survival standpoint. But I did tell them that I'd be happy to take this job as not full time, but 70% of the time, if I can keep my other job, because that way, I mean, I will literally have no time to live, but I will be doing something I'm very interested in, and I will be able to have 2 incomes, which will be survivable. But the downside is that I will have so much work that I will literally be choking on work. And this position would, they're very much like working from the office. They're very much not remote. They are, yeah, they're very much not remote. They are in person, which is the flexibility that I have right now, is that I do work from the office, well, from the studio where I record sometimes, but a lot of the work is done from home. And that means that I spend a lot of time with my dogs, and while their office is dog friendly, I mean, there is like, the thing is like, I'm interested, but I don't know. There are a lot of things that would change, and and the workload that I would have would be a lot, like a lot more. And if I have this job on top of my other job, then it is a lot of jobs. And or rather, like, it's just neither of these are like supplementary. They're both kind of your main job, right? The cool thing about this one is that I would be traveling to Canada, and to the US for work. And I would basically need to speak to news channels and stuff like that about the foundation, and sort of like build this bridge and explain things. And I would love that. And that would also be great connections for the podcast and for things like that. But at the same time, like, I just, you know, it's a lot to think about. It's a lot to sort of discuss. I am interested in proceeding to step 2. I am interested in seeing like where it could potentially go. But the reality of the matter is that if I have to replace my current job with this job, no matter how much I want to, I just won't be able to do that, because it simply is like, it would be a huge pay cut. And what I make now is already like barely getting me by. So, I mean, like, it's like, covers basic necessities. So I don't want to do that, but I would do it if I could do both, if I could feasibly do both, because that would be cool. So I just want to like preface this by saying this is in no ways a complaint about like income or anything like that. It's more of like, laying all the cards out on the table in terms of what I have to consider, because I was like so excited. But it is a nonprofit after all. So obviously I understand that their sort of like payment options are probably much more limited, though it is facing the American side and registered in the US and Canada. So I don't know. You know. Anyways, it is. I haven't been offered the job yet. Like, right? I've sort of like, I think I'm the only candidate at the moment, not because they don't have candidates, but because they were sort of like, they weren't really like rushing to hire anyone, because it is literally building a department from scratch. And it could be like, they could start in June, they could start in July, they could start in August. Obviously, the sooner the better, but it's not like it's not like they're desperate to find someone. And I'm also not like desperately looking for a job. And I think it was just that I have all the qualifications that they would ideally want in a person in this position, because it's not like, it's a combination of certain skills, not like a set job description. And I somehow, all of the random things that I've been doing in the past 3.5 years are that combination of skills. So it was like a very interesting thing for both me and them. And obviously, like, they want to proceed to step 2, I want to proceed to step 2, but well, I mean, we both want to proceed to step 2 if it is feasible for us to figure out a situation in which I can have both of these jobs, and like, in a way in which I would be able to combine them without literally like pushing myself off a cliff, metaphorically. So yeah. But overall, like, good, very, very good. Like, I very much liked the interview. I thought it was like a very cool process. I really enjoyed it. The people there are really cool. What they want to do is very cool. It's just that, again, needs to, there is a lot to think through here, and there is a lot to figure out. And it would be good if it was feasible to do so without having to figure out like how to make all of these things work together. But it's life, and life is never that simple. But yeah. No, I won't need to clean up my social media. I mean, I will just travel um with like a spare phone or something. I don't know. I thought you meant for the job, but you meant for like the US. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, like that's another thing is that on the one hand, like it's cool because I would go to the US not just like, hey, I've come back, but also on like a mission in a diplomatic type of way. But at the same time, it's also like I don't know how comfortable I am. I haven't like really needed to think about it now, you know? Yeah. But also I'm wondering if I'm not getting chat messages or if no one's writing. Okay, no, no one was writing. No, there is no new job yet or at all right now. It's more so there was an interview, it went well. It's a possibility, but it depends on whether like I can combine it with my current job, basically. I do like my current job. Like the thing is like I think my only like not issue um but my only sort of like a thing that I would want to be better is that I would want to more directly be helpful to Ukraine rather than through just like fighting misinformation in it. And if I were to do this other job, then it would be more directly helping Ukraine. But I do like what I do. I just like I don't know. I'm never like happy and settled. So and it is a cool opportunity. I just again, I don't want to like end up taking something that I can't feasibly fulfill both of, or I don't want to end up taking something that will be like three times as much work and half the pay, So because it's just like not feasible. Yeah, we'll see. I mean like I'm not, like it's not going to be the end of the world if it doesn't work. It's not going to be like it's okay. It's I don't know. I think I made it sound like a lot more dreadful than it actually is. Oh, also you guys, there is going to be an unmasking podcast on Wednesday and then we're skipping next week and crap, I forgot to record that. I forgot to record that in the podcast itself. So I'm going to have to tell Tanya, we're going to have to figure out how to like put it into the podcast so that so that I can really warn people about it. Oh, hi, K-Bell. Hi, Hugh. Moiv, what are you eating? Oh, that's Cinny. Okay. Hi, what are you eating? Okay, fine. Hi, Hugh. Good to see you. But yeah, so basically, I'm just, where was I? I'm sorry. I'm like so low energy, but yeah, I forgot to mention it in the podcast that there is not going to be an episode, not this week. This week there is an episode. Next week of Unmasking, there is not going to be an episode because Masha is going to be just coming back from Ireland, and I'm going to be just going to Lithuania. So we decided to, instead of trying to make it awkwardly work, we're just going to skip that episode. And there's also some like production problems with motion graphics, and they need to be figured out. And it'd be good if there was like, a week break to figure that out. We're also shortening the intro quite a bit because it's like very cinematic and very cool and very nice looking, but it's also too long. I'm realizing it's like 38 seconds. Like no one has time for that. So we were shortening the intro very much. Oh, thank you, Alms. Also, hi, Alms. Had to pause for a bit, just caught up regarding your potential job. It sounds less optimal based on personal experience. Yeah, I mean, like it depends. Like, it's actually a great idea, Roman, or Roman, rather. Yeah, I mean, kind of less optimal in terms of like time and money, but also again, if I can do both, then it's kind of cool. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm like, I think I had such a full day. I had to do so many like ridiculous little things today. So I had the job interview, and then after the job interview, I had to go to a car service to finish some things that were started like last week. And because basically, this is so stupid, but so my car is brought to Ukraine from the US, and the tail lights in the US are, well, someone brought it and like resold it here, right? So it wasn't like I didn't bring a car from the US. But so the tail lights are red, like the blinkers or turn signals are red. In the EU, it's illegal. They're supposed to be yellow. And so I changing my tail lights to the EU standard tail light is $500. Not doing that. Can't afford that. But I need to go to Lithuania, and I am not paying again for the stupidly expensive and very uncomfortable Kyiv-Warsaw train. That's always sold out, and you have to basically buy secondhand tickets that are being sold for like ridiculously, outrageously larger prices. So I am driving to Warsaw, and then I am getting on the plane, and then I'm getting on the plane to Lithuania for this disinformation fellowship. And I just found out that it's illegal, and I'm gonna accumulate a ridiculous amount of fines, and also they might just not let me into Poland. So I had to go to the dealership and to the car service and try to figure out how to circumvent that issue short term, because obviously long term, like I'll have to change the tail lights, especially because there are a lot of sort of like trips this summer and fall that I need to take to the EU for like work and for furthering my qualifications and like my expertise and stuff like that. I got into a couple of like programs and things. So I'm gonna have to drive because that's the cheapest option and the most like comfortable for me option. So I put in like someone told my dad, and well, I found out that basically if you put green light bulbs into those tail lights, they're going to blink yellow. So, you know, there is a DIY method. I mean, it's not ideal, and obviously cops can still kind of like make a doozy out of it, and they can, you know, if they're having a bad day, they could still find me. But realistically, at least I'm not going to be fined on cameras because, well, it does show up as yellow, but long term it's not a solution. And also apparently those like the green light bulbs, I don't know, they like you burn through them pretty fast, and anyways, it's just like at some point I'm gonna have to change those tail lights because it's not a long-term solution. But like I'm so happy that I was able to figure something out short term, you know, because WTF. I was about to be like, why is everything always going like wrong last minute? Because it's like, if you're gonna tell me that I can't make it to Warsaw in my car because I'm not gonna be let through the border because of the fucking red tail lights, I am genuinely going to cry. But crisis averted short term. So there is that. And what else? Oh yes, that's one thing that I did today. Then I also recorded the podcast, and this one ran particularly long. And then I also dropped off the girls at home. Is read aloud in Ukraine for now. They've drafted a law and they're going to be banning it, but for now it is. Oh, actually, yeah. So the other reason why I'm gonna have to change it is because it's soon going to be illegal in Ukraine too, because EU regulation, everything is like being brought up to the EU standards. So I'm not gonna be able. I'm gonna keep getting fined in my car for red tail lights as well. So long term, gotta finish. You gotta like change it. But right now, I'm sorry, my brain is braining only to like maybe 60% capacity right now. So good question. Thank you. Because I was like sitting there and I was like, there was a bigger reason why I need to do this. And I can't come up with that no grandfather clause. Nope. Just illegal. And yeah, soon to be implemented law. Yay. But yes, I'm very excited to go to Lithuania. Oh my gosh, you know what we didn't talk about? Well, one is Trump saying that he thinks Zelensky is ready to give up Crimea. Like, no. Like, no. You can think whatever you want. No. Secondly, Russia put forth its negotiation terms, and after Trump's brilliant negotiation with Russia for the past 4 months, Russia's terms on settlement literally have not changed. Literally have not changed at all. Today, their first point on their newly published demands list, conditions list, is denazification of Ukraine and removal of Zelensky. It's like the same as it's always been. Like nothing changed. I think stuff only got added to it, which is hilarious. It's bad when Candace Owens said something, dude. Like, it's okay. How many of you have seen Ben Shapiro's interview with Zelensky? I mean, Ben Shapiro, while I discovered that he apparently was always a supporter of not slow walking aid to Ukraine and giving Ukraine more weapons, which like Ben Shapiro is a piece of shit. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, no amount of good things that he thinks about Ukraine are gonna change the fact that he's a piece of shit. Ben Shapiro literally in his introduction gave a Ukrainian history crash course, and it was actually a good one. There was not only not a word of propaganda, but also a lot of calling out Russia. I was expecting him to be like Friedman. Well, no. So Friedman went into the interview wanting to prove Russian propaganda right, and he thought he was going to corner Zelensky. But Zelensky is not like Lex is not an intellectual match for Zelensky. He also literally had zero preparation and he went into it winging it. And he was like not, Zelensky ate him like a freaking shark. Ben Shapiro is not an idiot. He is, I think, a Harvard educated lawyer. He's a lawyer and he is smart. He's a terrible person, but he's smart. So when this whole like situation came out, I was like, this is gonna be bad, because I didn't know what his position on Ukraine was, because honestly, like, these people I try to avoid unless they say something horrendous and I need to, like, fact check it. But yeah, I wasn't necessarily like, I didn't know what his position in Ukraine was, but apparently it was always good. So the other thing that really struck me is that he called out Tucker Carlson in that interview, and Tucker Carlson spreading Russian propaganda. He called out Russia and mentioned all of the ceasefires that Russia has agreed to and never adhered to. He talked about the little green men. He talked about Russia invading Ukraine. He talked about Russia trying to strip Ukrainians of their identity. So like, he was basically saying everything like truthfully, and not just truthfully, but like really really hawkish on Russia. But what struck me is that he called out Trump. When Trump said, right, like, oh, I'm not trying to force Zelensky to recognize Crimea as Russian. And then he said, Zelensky saying he would never recognize Crimea as Russian is really bad for negotiations with Russia. So Ben Shapiro was like, well, if you're not trying to force him to recognize Crimea as Russian, then why does it matter what he says for the negotiations? Why are you talking about Crimea at all? Right? So he like called out a lot of like bullshit and a lot of contradicting messages and stuff like that. And I was kind of just like, it is very evident that Ben Shapiro lost a lot of money. A lot of money because of Trump and Trump's presidency. And it's very evident that he is so regretful of the shit show that is Trump's administration today. Despite how much he defended it before the election. And it's so funny because, oh, hi, Dan. Because he quite literally, like, was convinced, he did those, like, debates on Jubilee. And the way that he was defending Trump and Trump's policies and his economy and all of this stuff, I'm just like, you are a Harvard educated lawyer. Like, you can't really think that this dude is going to be good. It's funny because people like Ben Shapiro made a fortune basically pushing Trump's propaganda and far right propaganda, right? So they made all of their money on getting this man elected. And now they're losing all of their money by getting this man elected. And I think it's a fantastic full circle. Yeah, I don't understand that either. But I mean, like, I think people like Ben Shapiro, like the, rich YouTuber kinds. Oh my gosh, Dan, thank you. Oh, that's so generous of you again. Thank you so much. Oh, that's so nice. But yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like it's kind of that thing where I think that they thought they were special. It's the same as, women who advocate for manosphere and for traditional, like, trad wives and stuff like that, where they say that they are happy to have like no opinions and submit to their husband and stuff. But in reality, these women have these channels and they make money and they really are not submissive because they think that it's not going to cover them. They think that they're going to be the exception, but then they're not, because these men mean all women submit to them, and people like Trump mean everyone that they're gonna do this to everyone. Yeah. But I watched. There is a new season coming of Handmaid's Tale. It's already here. I think 4 or 5 episodes in, and a new episode is gonna come out. Actually, I think it's already out on Hulu because it's after midnight. So I'm gonna look it up. Give me a second. Hulu. I'm gonna tell you if a new episode is out. Oh my gosh, it's still going. Dan, thank you. This is so nice. Will you be visiting Vilnius? Yes, that's exactly where I'm going. I'm going to Vilnius. But I don't know how much free time I'm gonna have. I'm assuming that not a lot at all, because I'm going. No, so it's at 7 a.m. Okay. Nice balloon tattoo. Thank you. But yes, I will be in Vilnius. Oh, this is where I'm going, but I don't know how much free time I'm gonna have, because realistically, I'm going there for a specific fellowship, and it's going to be concentrated on learning and communicating and networking and stuff. So I don't know if I'm gonna have time to really explore the city. So yeah. But I hope I will have some free time. Government conference or at a university. So it is a program that I got into that is conducted by a university, but I don't know, it's the German government actually like makes this program possible. The collaborators think they can avoid the worst of it, like the old women in The Handmaid's Tale who helped Gilead. Yeah, yeah, like what are they called? Like the aunts. Yeah, very much so. Or the same as like in The Handmaid's Tale, Serena Joy, right? She advocated for Gilead and she advocated for this traditionalism and for submission to your husband and for all of this stuff. But you can see that she's miserable. She's miserable. She doesn't want to be submissive to Fred. She's also incredibly, like, a lot smarter than Fred and a lot more driven than Fred, a lot more, like, well spoken than Fred. She wrote most of, like, the Gilead's laws instead of Fred, and he just took credit for it, right? And, like, she doesn't like being in his shadow. And it's very evident that her, like, her sort of like her image of this like homemaker, she's bored out of her mind. She wants to write, she wants to lead, she wants to make change. She's a horrible person, don't get me wrong, but she wants to be doing things. She doesn't want to be a housewife. And I think that when she was creating this society, she thought that she would be the exception to the rules because she's one of the creators of this society. And it's like, no, you're a woman and you literally wrote a society and enabled it that hates women, abuses and exploits women. Yeah. Oh. I just found a marriage proposal on my channel to me. Just very interesting. I have to decline, but thanks. I know. This is just, you know, congrats. Thanks. Woo. I'm sorry. This is just like really funny. Really, really funny. No wedding party. I hope you're doing well, Yulia. Hi, Yana. Newsflash, not your taste. LOL, should we prep a Korovai already? Wait a minute. Now, if the wedding is Twilight themed, I'm coming. I'll be a lot of happiness. Wait. No, there is just this comment that I found, which is like, here, wait. Sorry, it's because I'm like tired and my emotions are really not like showing, or sarcasm is not showing. It's like congratulations question mark. Lol, my favorite thing is blind proposals, so genuine. Yeah, so here, I'm gonna read it to you. It says, where is it? Did it just get oh no. Love from India. Do you marriage with me? 3 question marks, everything in caps lock. I do have to politely decline. I think, well, I mean, I don't necessarily want to marry an online stranger. I also think my boyfriend would be kind of confused. Not that he, like, wouldn't be happy about it, you know, because, like, it's not his choice after all. Oh, Dan. Thank you. But I think he would be very confused, you know, because he would probably, if I would just like accepted a random person's proposal, like he thinks, like as far as I know, he thinks we're good, you know, and then like tomorrow I'm just like, hey, someone wants to marriage with me, and I decided to accept this generous offer. So, sorry, bro. Sorry, boo. I apologize. You know, life's short. He was first. You dragged your feet. It's just, you know, it's first come, first served. You know, first come, first served. Who will be the justice of the peace? AI generated? I don't even know. Get the dowry and get out. Wait, is that still a thing? I think my family is supposed to bring the dowry, no? Like, isn't that the tradition? I also finished the new season of The Wheel of Time 2 weeks ago. Oh, interesting. Just when we was talking about trad wives. So bad times. Yeah, quite bad. Well, you dragged your feet. Brilliant. Yes, I mean, hey, you know what I started watching recently? It's the show called High Potential. It's very comedic, but it's if you've ever seen The Mentalist, so it's very similar to The Mentalist, but the protagonist is a woman. She has a very high IQ. It's called High Potential, and it's more of a comedic value than serious as like The Mentalist was. So it's kind of cool. It's a very good like unwind in the background type of show. How has your Monday been? How has your Monday been, Yulia? Well, everyone's Monday is now amazing thanks to you. But my Monday was good. I had a job interview this morning for a potential second job, but we shall see because there is a lot of caveats with it. Then I went to a car service to figure out a way to turn my tail lights yellow from red because apparently red is illegal in the EU and my car is American. Because American cars are cheaper to buy here, a lot more mileage and stuff on them. Where was I? Then I came home and I kid you not, I had a 20-minute nap because I just like fell asleep hardcore. Because by the time I got home and before the podcast filming was gonna start, or the podcast like prep was gonna start, I had like 20 minutes to nap. And the videographer, the cameraman gets here first out of everyone because he has the most like stuff to do, like lights and all of this stuff. So I messaged him and I was like, "Hey," because he's very polite and he will like sit in his car and message me and be like, "Hey, can I come up? I'm here," right? And it's at the time at which like, yeah, that's you know, at which he's supposed to be here, so he can totally come up and like ring the doorbell, but he is just like super polite. So I messaged him and I was like, "Hey, you don't have to ask me if you can come up when you get here. Just like come up and ring the doorbell because I'm very likely to pass out." And if you text me, I'm not going to see your message and you're going to end up sitting in your car for half an hour till I wake up. So I passed out for the 20 minutes and it was like a power nap. And I woke up because every time someone rings the doorbell or knocks or there is a sound similar to knocking produced somewhere, Maeve gets up and starts howling and like she goes into protect mode. So imagine this. I'm in my like 20-minute nap. I'm delirious and I wake up from Maeve just howling and the doorbell ringing and everything's just like going crazy. So the cameraman got here, then everyone else got here. We recorded the episode for Unmasking Pod with Yulia Tymoshenko, not the former prime minister, a fantastic 25-year-old activist who is like great. Maybe she's 26 now. Anyways, she's great, and honestly, I wish we had like more time to talk because she's just like such a like we're gonna have to have her again because I don't think this was enough of her appearance. You know, she just to me like I think she's such an inspiration to young women especially, and she's just such a great person. And her story is phenomenal and it's like very intertwined with Ukraine and it's just like, you know, you'll see she's freaking fantastic. Like I'm so rooting for this girl and I respect her so much and I think she's such like an inspiration for like people in general. And so we only had it like an hour, obviously. I should have like another episode with her. She's so great. But so it was a long convo, and then I also drove her and Tanya, the producer, home. And I then got home and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to do a live. Oh, and I dyed my hair back to brown, not today, but recently because, you know, blonde was fun for a little bit. But I do think this is a lot more me. I do think this suits me a lot more. And I couldn't like, you know, I couldn't decide because I would find my old pictures and be like, this looks so much more me. This is where I need to be. And then I would find like a strand of blonde that I really liked and I was like, no, maybe I can figure out, you know, like a thing that I like that doesn't turn orange. And then I was like, it's just so much work. So anyways, I was like, I just need to rip the band-aid. So I did. And I dyed it back to brown and I immediately like lit up and just became my own self again. Naturally what color I am? This is my natural hair color, so it's brown. Except like this is a very warm brown and mine is a very cool brown. So it's the same tone, but this one's ashy and this one's like chocolatey. But they don't have my color on the color wheel, so this is the closest they can get to my natural hair color. And I was like telling my mom, I was like, what do you mean? How can you not get anywhere near my natural hair color? And when her entire head went gray, when she started dyeing her hair, she's like, dude, my natural hair color is the same as yours. And this is my problem exactly. It's either too dark or too light, too warm or too cool. And there is like just not a match. And I was like, cool, okay. But so anyways, for now, I'm gonna grow it out and let it get to my natural hair color, because I don't know, I think it's just so much more me. I can find you a picture, actually, of my natural hair color. It's this, but way less chocolate. Oh my God, Dan! Oh, that's so nice. Also, you're in a roll today. Thank you. That's so sweet. Can I say thank you for going back to brown? You looked like my ex-girlfriend. That's so funny. I can't. I'm sorry. Not like, I'm really sorry, because it seems like you and your ex-girlfriend did not have the bestest of relationships. But like, it's just such, it's just like such a funny comment. Wait, I'm gonna try to find. Sorry, this was really funny. And also, thank you, Dan. Again, I just like, I died at that comment a little bit. It was really funny. Oh my God. 1 second. Okay. Natural hair color. This is some video that I was making about a remote thing. You know, probably bad example, but yeah, it's quite literally this, just much less. Oh, okay. That's good. So it's quite literally this, just not warm. And I usually get like light highlights on the bottom, so face framing. We got into hair, we got way too deep into hair, but yeah, so here, wait. I guess this is like the most, this probably, okay, see? Brown, and then I have like blonde highlights on the bottom. Yeah, but I like, I like having brown hair. I think brown hair is a lot more me. Like, blonde was fun. I was never like fully blonde before this, so it was cool. Also, all the Canadians, do you still make videos about remote things? No, Nick, but I can start if you'd like. I pray our local liberal candidate can pull a win. Mark Carney, I think he's gonna win. Honestly, like I don't want to jinx it, but I honestly don't see Pierre Poilievre winning in Canada. Like, I really don't. I think the one good thing that Trump did was for Canada. One second, sorry. Mm. Uh, Sorry. Um, no Pierre Polyear, please. Enter candidate. Either candidate will support Ukraine. I voted today. Canadians who started got a lot of respect for Carney during the time as governor. Well, Carney has been really showing himself as like a very, very strong-willed man, and also like, Trump seems to be scared of Carney. So like, you know, be a minority one way or the other. My opinion. I mean, hey, honestly, I just don't want another like I don't want like mini Trump in Canada. It would be awful. And also, I do believe, I do believe that Trump doesn't want Carney to win. He really does not. It doesn't seem like he does. Carney also absolutely freaking hates Trump. Like he's not into any of Trump's bullshit. And also, Pierre Polyear is very loving of Trump, and when Trump became president, that tanked Pollier's ratings. JD Vance called into Charlie Kirk's online show today to opine to what on Ukraine. Charlie Kirk is also freaking like, oh my god, he's awful. Charlie Kirk is, I don't even like. Charlie Kirk is worse than Ben Shapiro. At least like Ben Shapiro in his awful arguments is respectful to the other side that he is like arguing with. Charlie Kirk is a narcissist who is an asshole. He has no respect for anyone but himself. Also, Dan, how was your day? Sorry, I went on so many tangents. How was your Monday? And you guys, let me go grab a yogurt. Maybe that will fuel my brain a little bit because I just realized last time I ate was like more than 6 hours ago. Oh, hi, James. Good to see you. How is the UK weather today? Charlie Kirk is a lunatic. Yeah, Charlie Kirk is literally the guy who said that he wants that if his like underage daughter, and by underage I mean like prepubescent, what should have been prepubescent but somehow hit puberty earlier, daughter got pregnant through sexual assault, she would have to give birth to that baby because abortion is ungodly. What do you make of the CIA son that was totally abandoned by his parents? I mean, he wasn't, no, what do you mean? Like, he was not abandoned by his parents. So she became deputy director in 2024. The son went to fight in Russia, in Ukraine on Russia's side, in 2023. He died in 2024. What I think is ridiculous is that when they asked her, like, where did they think the son was for months, and she said, at work. What? Give me one sec. I'm gonna go grab a yogurt really quick and like bring it here. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to eat it in front of you, but maybe it'll give me some like brain fuel. Moiv, can anyone see you? No. Well, maybe Moiv. Do you want to like show yourself to people? Okay, fine. Dog, you're not being very friendly. Strawberry yogurt. I could put some granola in it, but I am incredibly lazy at the moment. Moivin. But I can't sit on you. I don't want to sit on your head. Move a little bit, but we can go back to like sitting on me. Yeah, it's cool. Oh, Simmy, Baba, I'm so sorry. Come here. Well, I can't extend myself onto two of you. And wave was first. Okay. No. My algorithm doesn't send me Ben Shapiro's and Charlie Kirk's. I just unfortunately go and look them up myself because I want to know. Because they're spreading a ton of disinformation and a lot of like super far right red pill content. And also, it was okay. Thank you. Busy. Busy is good. I didn't see that. I don't think I did. I'm sorry. They probably cannot allow them to speak out. I don't know. I mean, their son is already dead. It's not like, I mean, it's a very, what I just said was really harsh, but it's like, what are they gonna do? You know, at this point, Russia has no leverage. 8S. Any Christian here, Charlie lines up with those moral things of life, right? What? What? Basically, you don't know much. Now, when I was 23, I survived a Russian thing. A Russian thing? Missed opportunity? An RU thing? Wait. Confused. RU in this chat definitely will be taken as Russia, especially when my brain is barely braining. But yeah, as to speaking out, I don't think so. I mean, at this point, they've got nothing to lose. Hi, Moises. No, it's not. The yogurt is not Russian. Ukraine does not import anything manufactured in Russia. I don't understand that comment either. So yogurt is literally made in Ukraine. Like, produced in Ukraine. So, what makes you think the yogurt is Russian? Because it's written in Cyrillic? I'm assuming because there is Cyrillic on it. But you know, Ukrainian also uses Cyrillic alphabet. It does, John. If being right is bad, it's not about being on the right. It's about being on Trump's right, and it's about being on far right, and it's about taking rights away from people. It's about right or wrong. To be fair, I do not like the dual party system that America has because I'm not a fan of neither Democrats nor Republicans. But the Republican Party has literally been transformed into a lying, brainwashing, fascist garbage. How can rights be taken you're born with? I don't know. American citizens have been deported out of the United States. American citizens. Yeah. I mean, Ukrainian is difficult, but also like you look for letters that don't exist in Russian. Well, here it's hard because those letters are here. But so Ukrainian uses a lot more "y" sounds, while Russian uses a lot more "e" sounds. And Ukrainian uses the "e" that looks like a Latin I. And so here is E. Also, Ukrainian has the letter Y, which is like an I with double dots on top. And yeah, there are quite a few things in Ukrainian. Sh, a letter sh is not in Russian, which is sh with like a thingy. Well, g is Ukraine has g, but it's only used in very few words. Well, actually, there are a ton of words, but like in very few like words that you would use on the regular. Uh, no, it wasn't illegal immigrants that were deported, Pat. It was literally American citizens. There were also people that have not committed any crimes and have records showing they have committed no crimes. And Trump's admin people admitted that they've deported them for no freaking reason by accident, and they're not returning them. And also, like, Pat Doucette is a very English speaking name, but your English is horrendous. It's clearly not your like dominant language. So I am going to take a leap here that you were a troll. Yeah. Take a wild guess here. That's what happens when you don't follow due process. Well, no, there are literally people being deported and removed from the United States without due process. There are people who have their citizenships, there are people who have green cards, there are people who have not done anything incorrectly, and they have been deported by the Trump administration. And the Trump administration is not taking any accountability in the court orders that they are that like literally the courts are like, no, this is illegal, it's unconstitutional, what the fuck, bring those people back. And Trump administration is like, oopsie. So no, you were talking about due process, but Trump admin is not following due process. Yeah. Wait. Sorry, Moiven. I'm sorry, Baba. I woke you up. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This just fell. It was an accident. I'm sorry, dog. You can smell it. Nothing happened. Yeah, it's all good. Excuse you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, baby. Discern info, please. That's not how discern is spelled. Just FYI. Again, like, when a troll is trying to seem like they're from Canada or from the US, from an English-speaking country, right? And they want to seem like their dominant language is English, it, like, bothers me that they don't even try to seem English. Like, your name, it would be a lot better if you chose a name that isn't Western sounding, because then you could just say that you live in America or in Canada and you're a citizen, but you weren't like born there or something, right? So like, why would you know English fluently? But like, if you're gonna call yourself a Western name, to make it sound like you're a native English speaker. Um, your mother's name is Patrick Doucet? Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure. Cool. Cool. You're Canadian A. You're Canadian A. A. So you're Canadian. Your mom is Patricia Doucet. She is Canadian and a fluent English speaker. You are Canadian with a Canadian mother, but you're not a native English speaker with a Canadian mother who's Canadian and a native English speaker whose name is Patricia Doucet. Confusing. Did you practice that story? Did you, like, I feel like you didn't iron out some details when you were like presenting this case. Yeah, French Canada still speaks both English and French. I have lots of friends from French Canada, and you know, they speak English very well. Yeah, like, I mean, this is just very, you know, this I mean, accent's fine, you know? Accent's fine. But like, Nastya, well, my friend Nastya, she's French, well, she's Ukrainian, but she was raised in Montreal. And she has sorry, I'm just like reading Nick's comment. Also, thank you, Moises. Like, I'm not making fun of someone's accent, and I'm not making fun. Okay, I want to be very clear here because I have done that. Like, I have explained this before, right? I would never make fun of someone's accent, because why wouldn't you have an accent if it's not your dominant language, right? Or your first language or whatever. And like, if you learned a language, period, that's great. And it's fantastic. You're already doing more than like a native speaker. I would never make fun of someone for like not speaking a language fluently. Like, what the hell, you know? You've learned a language that's freaking fantastic. But when someone's trying to pretend to be something they're not, I'm obviously going to pick at details to make fun of them because they're just way too obvious. I would not ask marriage people to. Yeah, I mean. But also, here's the thing, like, right? If you're not American, why are you defending Trump and Charlie Kirk and all of these people? Like, what's your stake in this? Because I have a stake in this, right? I'm a green card holder in America. And I find it so funny when there are like people that have literally zero relation to it, in terms of it shouldn't concern them in terms of like, you know, winning the election, and they're like, no, you're like a leftist, you know, because you think far right is bad. Like, far right is not bad. Trump is great. Like, Charlie Kirk is amazing. It's like, dude, you don't even live there. Why are you trying to turn someone else's country into a far right fascist regime? French Canadians can speak English. Like, yeah, I mean, I've met so many French Canadians, and everyone has spoken like perfect English. I mean, not like, well, with a very lovely French accent, but very, like, they spoke English very well. Not I know, you not know who me is type of thing. Mm. Yes, I think Pat did. Yeah, exactly. Anyone defending like a misogynistic crazy person is just like, you know. Speak French very little, I do. Well, je ne parle pas français. Je ne comprends pas français. I know a few little things in French. I can say je veux café au lait. Je vais au café. I can say je prends un avion aux États-Unis. Okay. Oh, suddenly Pat speaks English very well. Mhm. But also, like, did they just say that they barely speak French? Watch out for the Parisians. Well, my boyfriend is Parisian. Le chat, le chat, le chat est sur le isn't that a chair? Oh, le chat, like the cat. Okay, cool. Is on a chair. Okay, cool. But I don't think that's the right. That's the right. I'm more of a German speaker. Well, ich spreche Deutsch. Ich verstehe Deutsch. Oh my gosh, right now I don't verstehe anything because I am like brain dead. But I did take German for 11 years at school. Half French and Ukrainian, you know. I love trolls. They're so fun. But like, so die Katze ist auf den Stuhl. Yeah, pretty much. The cat is on the chair. Pat is half Ukrainian. No, I don't know. I don't know what Pat is, but like, I think Pat might be saying that I'm half French and half Ukrainian. Pat is a little lost. But also, like, there are people who are French speakers here, right? Like, you know.
Colleagues in Mexico City, they say he's alive and well, showing up at work every day. Yeah. Local police.
Hello. You probably don't see me. Okay, wait. Oh, wait. And my TV went on, and I can hear myself on the other YouTube. Okay, I think it's time for me to go to bed. I just saw a Shahed drone blow up in the sky, and the flash was really big. It is super dark in my room because I turned off all the lights. The experiment was I really wanted someone to speak to him in French and see if he actually speaks French. But I know he's gone by now. Moi. Toi. Toi. À bientôt. I think it's Russian bots, Yewleea. They're constantly on Rix and Mercado. Yeah, that's what yeah, exactly. It doesn't sound like an actual real normal person. Are you in the dark? Yes. I mean, I am. I think I need to go to bed. I think my phone dying and interrupting the live was a good call to action, which is going to bed. Okay, you guys. I'm gonna go because it really truly is time, and I will try to be, coming on. Oh, yes. I bag. This is for Dan. Also, I still need to add Maeve emojis. Maeve! Bubba, are you okay? Did you just fall off the bed? Bubba, come here. Sini, yes, you're also a bubba, but you're not the one who fell off the bed. Okay, she seems unharmed. All right. Good night, guys. I will see you soon. Bonne nuit. Thank you. Good night.